Okay, so
I was about to tell him to eat it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What were you saying, David?
Okay. So first of all, question: do we have the body of a dead snake person laying on the floor of this attic here? We do.
We do. Also, the sloughed off arms and legs in a separate pile.
Okay.
And the skin.
And Bobby's arm.
I know priority. We need to destroy whatever paintings are out here around this place. We need to just destroy them.
I was gonna say I don't think we need to do squat except for get out.
Yeah, because we just had a gunfight in the middle
and
of
it's
Soho.
downtown.
You know, if they come in here looking and wondering what's going on, there's a dead snake person. I think it's okay that we defended ourselves against a dead snake person. I mean, I would rather not be here either, but I think it's rather important that
Things in this case is always.
I mean, none of the other paintings had this sort of effect on us except for that. And really, I think that one only affected me.
Well, I mean, we could go with the very direct method. There are oil lanterns hanging from the ceiling. We could just smash them and run.
And it's oil paint, and they will go up.
I mean...
Well, I mean, the kerosene will go up pretty good, too. Like, they're notoriously dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that could be the solution. We just slap a couple kerosene lanterns down.
Okay, but then, you know, the poor guy locked in the closet there.
You know what? He's not a poor guy. That dude is jacked.
Okay. So let's go ahead.
I was going to say, whatever we choose to do, I mean, the issue is there's been gunfire. If this thing goes up, we have to get out of London, too, because they're going to be looking for us here, too. And it is not going to go as easy as it went on us in New York. Being told to sit still for a couple days and then get our weapons back because we know people, that's one thing. Here in London, it could mean all kinds of other things. I mean, we could get deported. And I'm all for leaving.
Let's go out the back
door. But
door.
they're going to send us back to America. They're not going to send us to anywhere else that we want to go.
All I know is
Okay.
I want to take the painting, and I want to get out of here.
We're not going to burn this place down. For one thing, the cab took us here, and the cab can tell them that we were here. So.
What painting are you taking?
The wind.
Why do you want to take that?
Why
can't we just not cut it out?
Is it?
Yeah, it's like half a wall.
Yeah.
Oh.
You could cut it out, roll it up, and transport it that way. It would be way easier to do that.
I want to do that. It's the one piece of proof of what happened in New York as well at this point. That is, those are what we fought.
You're talking about the cultists at the bottom of the painting, the people with the headdress on? Nah, I don't disagree with you, Bobby. That is a good point.
Are we saying that those are the cult of the Bloody Tongue, or those are the masks that we saw in the Juju house?
That is the mask you saw at the Juju house. Also, if you had to guess, the creature on top of the mountain is the Bloody Tongue.
Okay, I'm just making sure that we're not drawing two things together, because there were lots of artifacts in the Juju house. That were not possibly directly related to this.
This wasn't just in the Juju house. This is the one that the guy that attacked you was wearing.
Well,
the lion dude.
Yeah.
Oh, him.
Yeah, him.
Okay.
I'm taking.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll help you get. I'm sure we'll find a knife somewhere up here.
Yeah.
I have one. I have a switchblade.
And I think
always prepared.
I think we need to go to ground for a week or two.
After the Juju house,
Agree.
you can bet I'm prepared. And I do have a tea allergy.
Should we go to...
So are you guys searching the house before you leave?
No, I'm not. Should we go to Lower Edel?
No. We're not going anywhere else. We're going to go back. We're going to go back
I want to make sure that we're on the same page here. You're not even searching the house to see if there's somebody else here.
Oh, I was told to go do that, so I probably...
Yeah, but you came back upstairs when you heard the ruckus.
Yeah, but that was after that Dalphus told me to go check the house.
Check the front door.
Because I was getting mad at Bobby, and told him to go put the guy in the closet.
Because of your disability, your scales. You got upset by your scales.
No, I think he's upset by his scales as well. I feel like we're on the same page here.
And none of y'all got a translation of what was said to me.
Not yet.
So Ms. Rumtree, you are searching the house to make sure that no one else is there.
I am, and I still have my 32 drawn.
Okay, sure. That makes sense. So on the second floor are 4 rooms with scant furnishing that are perfectly ordinary. Nothing else seems out of the ordinary on that floor. No door is even locked up there. On the ground floor, You note that the rear door leads to a small garden enclosed by a 9-foot tall brick wall of recent construction. There's a kitchen, a short hall to a bedroom, and a parlor. There's a door off of the kitchen that leads to what you have to assume is a basement.
Does the smell continue?
Yes. It gets stronger by the basement door.
Oh, we should all go look in the basement.
In the bedroom, you do note a small lacquered box sitting on the dresser.
Okay.
And do you still have the needle?
I assume
It
so.
seems
it
seems out of place. Yes, you do have the needle. It does seem out of place.
The lacquered box.
Yeah.
Can I move closer to it and look at it with my appraising eye?
Sure. You get closer. It is a relatively noteless lacquered box. The difference is everything else in the room is like a mahogany wood, and this is a black lacquered box that doesn't seem to have. It doesn't fit with the aesthetic here. It is closed. Do you want to try and open it maybe with the needle?
Sure.
Sounds so sure.
Yeah.
You tip the lid of the box back. Inside is a syringe and a small vial filled with some greenish liquid.
Oh.
That's totally.
It's like a dull green.
It's like snake juice. Okay.
Snake juice. That's the grossest thing.
Yeah, on all accounts, it's nasty. Okay, I'm going to shut the box. Does it have a lock on it?
No.
Okay, then I'm gonna shut the box, and this is a bedroom, is it not?
It is.
I'm going to grab. I'm gonna take a pillowcase off the pillows, and I'm gonna put the box in a pillowcase.
And then tie it up so it can't come open?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
And then I'm going to slip it into my case.
Okay, because I was going to say, because that doesn't look like we're pillaging a house at all.
I took, because I stated after Bobby came back that I
Yeah.
took my case and I walked out of the room. So I'm going to
Yeah.
open my case, and I'm sure there's room in there for a box, as long as it's not, huge.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, and then are you... by that time, everybody is downstairs. Are you checking the basement at all? Or are you
I am going to tell them, even though I'm sure they can smell for themselves, but obviously, there's more things in the basement. I don't know what that means. I just know that it continues to smell like the reptile house, and it smells worse over here.
I've had notorious bad luck with basements. I'm
Okay.
not going down into the basement. Personally, I'll keep watch at the top of the stairs, but I'm not going down.
I don't.
Bobby? Hardgrove?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go down to the basement, but I do want to know if there's any other paintings that were up here that are not locked away in the cabinet.
There were another...
There were several, wasn't there?
Yeah, I'm looking for the number. Hold on, I'm sorry. There's probably 30 or 40 other paintings sitting up here.
Okay.
Are you going to look through them?
But like I said, we saw many of these on our way up, and they did not affect us like the other ones did.
Oh no! These were all kind of off on the side. Like you would, once you start looking at them, there is going to be an effect. After you look at the first
is there?
one,
Okay.
It'll be clear. These are all kind of stacked against the wall, having been painted and not discarded but set aside.
I'm all up for burning this place again.
Yeah, but we are in the middle of the city. The only way that I would even remotely agree to any kind of starting of a fire here is if we throw the paintings in the basement and we throw something down. Some
Just
Molotov
as a
cocktail.
note, houses in England, especially in
attached.
London, are attached to the houses next to them. So you're building
that was my next question.
a whole row of houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't do that.
No, we can't. I mean, we can, but we won't.
Is anybody going into the basement? Was the question?
Not.
I'm not.
I am not.
Bobby?
I'll go if you think we need to check it out.
I don't think we need to check it out, Bobby. I think we found everything we need to
Probably
do
need to
here.
leave sooner than we could check out the basement, unfortunately.
You do have.
Bobby, can you give me a sanity check?
You do have some power over these.
Oh, no, not a sanity check.
Of course, a sanity check. What are you talking about? All the sanity checks.
He might be compelled.
Oh, no.
Hey,
I
Roxy,
failed. I want you to see.
The
Look.
Screen
73.
view on the. Thank you. You failed?
I failed. I mean, I just want
Fantastic.
everybody to see. It's a 73.
You hear a coming from the basement door. It's not beckoning you. There's no demand that you go, but you can hear it. Something is down there.
It's more of them.
Bobby, I let's just leave. I don't think we need anything else from here. You've got your painting. We've got proof. I think we need to get out of here before anybody comes investigating the noises that we made.
Oh, I'm sorry, Roxy. I just wanted to see us full screen so I could see everybody else.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No. I see what you're doing. I was like, yeah, no, I didn't need a handout. I just wanted to see us all full screen.
Yeah.
If I could.
I mean, unless
Cool.
you think something good can come out of going in the basement, I think we just need to leave.
That's fine.
You okay
Are
with
you
that?
wearing a long sleeve shirt, or were you in short sleeves? Like,
No.
how can we even see your?
I probably would have pulled it up like this, and
Yeah.
So have you covered it back up?
I
now?
probably have covered it back up, but
We can deal with that later, but I would.
I don't think men wore short sleeves too much in this time.
I don't
No,
think so
no.
either, but we were able to see it, so I just wanted to make sure.
And we're probably putting our jackets back on that we left in the front, the foyer.
Yeah, I think we need to head back to the hotel.
let's get out of here.
All right.
All right. You guys go out, hail a cab.
Hey, hang on, I had a question.
Oh, yeah,
So-
yeah. Go ahead.
Those paintings, they're all they're kind of stacked up together, right?
Yes.
Okay, is there a jar of a dark colored paint or maybe like paint thinner or something that I could just pour over the top of them?
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that real quickly then before we leave, and hopefully that'll
You're not going to be able to get all of them. Even with all the paint, you're going to probably get 2/3 of them at best.
Okay, well, do what I can, short limited time.
But a sage in the future will tell you that 2 out of 3
Ain't bad.
ain't bad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you destroy some of the paintings. Okay, so
Because whoever's going to come into this next, we need to leave it and not, a little
Crazy
bit
pants
easier to
stuff.
deal with.
So no one else gets sucked into a painting?
right,
I still can't believe that happened.
I can.
was
So
far
you
too
guys head
ominous.
out, hail a cab, and you're going back to the safe hotel.
Yes.
And my paranoia is up to nth teen, and I would like to watch. I'm going to sit in the back and watch out the window.
You can all give me spot hiddens.
Success.
Success. Normal.
Not for me.
Not for me either.
Okay. So as you drive back to the other hotel, you don't really see anything in the rear view or while watching. You get there. It is probably it's after dinner. It would be a very late dinner at this point, and y'all are pretty hungry. It's been a little bit of a harrowing afternoon, evening. What would you like to do?
When we get to the hotel, I would once again stop at the desk and I would ask for Alfred.
Alfred has gone home for the evening. My name is whatever. It doesn't really matter. How may I help you?
It matters to Miss Rumtree. Lad, I really appreciate y'all, and I had spoken with Alfred earlier and was asking if anybody had left any messages for me, and that some of them might be up in the room, but I just wanted to make sure that nothing had come in or anybody had come asking to see me. I've got some people that we've talked about meeting, while I was here, and I just want to make sure that they didn't stop in while I was out.
Yes. Let me check. And he turns around and like pulls the messages, goes through them, and checks the mailbox for your room, and comes back and says, "I don't have anything. There's no notification here that anyone has stopped by. I apologize."
That's perfectly fine. I'd rather they didn't, to be quite honest. At least not while I'm out. That just doesn't seem right. But thank you, sir, and you have a good night. And I would leave a tip on the table.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Let's go up to the room and order room service.
You have a phone in your room?
I do. Do I have a phone in my room?
It'd be
like the other hotel.
Okay, I'm. You'll have to forgive Roxanne's lack of knowledge of how prevalent phones were in 1925.
Well, I'm making it up, so.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I would assume that if you're going to have the suite with multiple bedrooms, you have like the high level.
Okay, we have like
hotel.
The penthouse.
So you would have kind of. You would have a phone in the room at least, not in every bedroom, but at least
sure.
That would connect to an operator, and the whole Klondike 567.
Is this like is it a party line? Should I be worried about
Probably
other people listening in? But anyhow, so I do.
I hold out a 20
pounds
American.
Oh, okay.
To the desk clerk.
Okay.
Anybody comes in looking to go to that room, I don't care who they are, you ring it. If they ask for us, come by, ask if we've been in, let us know.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
And tell them we're not here.
Okay, I can do that.
I'm not even sure if he knows y'all's names.
I don't know, but
I don't think we should tell him.
No, you've been dealing with him, so this is your show.
If anybody comes looking for me or any of my associates, I just rather they didn't come up to the room tonight. I'm a little beleaguered.
Sure, absolutely, we can do that. So, you guys head up to the room and order room service?
Yep.
Yeah, is there Chinese takeaway?
With a couple of bottles of something strong.
I'm going to roll my sleeve down. Is my arm still like that?
It sure is. The skin around it is red, but not like bright red, almost like you've scratched it really bad or something. The scales seem to just kind of interplay into your skin without an issue.
Okay.
And you rub your hand across them, they feel like snake scales.
Mr. Blackwood, is there something... I'll be honest, I don't remember seeing your forearm before today. Is this new?
No, I can attest that it was normal.
I have never been covered with anything like this.
So I'm going to assume that happened to you when you were out of our presence for a moment.
And in some sort of... on some sort of island.
So what the painting showed us is where you were.
I didn't get a good look at the painting. All I know is that he took a veil off of something, and I was all of a sudden on an island.
We saw a painting with a swamp and an altar in it with snake people like the old lady was. So is that what you saw?
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys did see Bobby in the painting.
We did see Bobby in the painting.
There's a good representation if you know.
Yeah.
Was anything said to you while you were there?
Yeah.
You don't have to share if you don't want to, Bobby.
Jewell is looking at him expectantly as though she waits for him to continue.
And I'm going to give you the look like, let him have a moment.
I don't understand what this is, but essentially they started saying a whole bunch of words. I understood what they were saying, and they were basically saying it's time for you to return to us. Time for you to shed your skin, and then this started happening.
So, Bobby, I'm like stammering because I'm flabbergasted.
As far as I know, my dad is reptilian as far as I joke, but I am not I am not a snake person as far as I know.
Right. I mean, well, you're not part of a cult, correct? I mean, this would be the time to tell us.
No, I'm not part of a cult.
Okay.
This would be the time to tell us.
Yeah, this would be the time to tell us.
I am not part of a cult.
Well,
I'm just going to come out and say this much. I know that there's something more to what goes on in the world.
Well, I think
we all are.
I think we're all coming to that realization, and quite frankly, some of the books that I read on the boat, or the book that I read on the ship over, had some very interesting things in it, and I'm going to assume, based on the new knowledge that I have acquired, is that you've been touched by some sort of spell. As much as I don't like to, we can joke about magic all we want.
It exists.
But based on some of the writings I read, now that we're thrust into this whole scenario, I don't think anything's out of the question. And that the way that painting that he decided to take with him made me feel, and the things that we saw in that painting and what we saw happen to him, I think magic is definitely not the most unbelievable thing that I've ever heard of.
It's not unbelievable. During the war, I witnessed some things that couldn't be explained by any amount of logic whatsoever. At the time, we were told, if someone actually said something to somebody, it was because they were shell-shocked.
Well, and my husband has talked many times about things that he has witnessed and has known of, but I thought it was mostly just fool talk. But
Hokum.
I don't know. All I know.
Speaking of that painting that you've got there, Bobby, I actually recognize some of that painting.
I think we all recognize a little of that painting, Dalphus.
Are you saying like you recognize something more than just the people or things in it?
Yeah, I know where it is.
So that wasn't a painting of somewhere else. That was actually here?
Well,
that's a mountain in Kenya.
Well, that doesn't make me feel good.
Not at all.
Dalphus, could I get you to roll like a natural history? I don't remember what is there a natural history now?
There is. There's natural world.
Natural world, yeah.
Natural world. Okay. Yeah. Nope.
No. Okay. Give me just a second, and I might have you roll something else. I want to make sure that I'm not missing something.
Well, I'm only like 2 points off. I could use some luck on it if I need to.
I need everybody to give me an idea roll. How about that?
And the idea roll
is...
It's.
I'm sorry, intelligence. Back in my day, in the earlier games, we rolled ideas.
Extreme success.
Intelligence, I got. Yeah, hard success for me.
I got an extreme.
I did not. I'm not feeling very wise tonight or intelligent.
Yeah, I'm not making that test.
So, you remember in the Nairobi notes from Jackson Elias, he mentions that the Bloody Tongue is reputedly based in a mountain called the Mountain of the Black Wind, and this painting is the black wind on the mountain. The wind on the mountain of black.
The wind blows over the mountain in black.
This is probably the Mountain of Black Wind, and you know exactly where that's at because it ties into what you guys were already studying or researching and looking into. So this is most likely the mountain of the Black Wind. There's nothing to say when what time period this represents. It could be yesterday. It could have been 1,000 years ago. You can't really tell.
Or the future.
And they're the cult of the Bloody Tongue.
Yeah, and that thing, if that's not a bloody tongue, you don't know what is.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks kind of tongue-shaped, right? So.
Yeah.
Gross.
So here's where I'm at, above all things, right this moment. We're in London, and we got the cultists here in London, pretty deeply entrenched.
In the Penhew Foundation, yeah.
Are we even going to do anything about it?
What?
I'm looking at, yeah.
What do you think the four of us are going to be able to do if the cult that is in New York is being ring-led by this guy we met today?
And that's the question that I ask. Are we just getting out of Dodge at this point?
At the end of that question, there's a knock at the door.
Excuse me, gentlemen. and I would straighten my outfit, and I would approach the door and look out. Is there a peephole?
Supposed to be told.
Yeah, we're supposed to be told.
There is no peephole. That's not a 1920s.
This is just call it through the door. Who is it, please?
I'm sorry. I requested no disturbances tonight. Can it wait till tomorrow? I just got that through the door.
Room service?
I didn't order it. Oh, did we order room service?
You guys ordered room service. I assumed you talked about it.
Yeah, when I said couple of stiff drinks.
Yeah, I'm going to stand off in one of the other rooms with my shotgun.
I'm going to put my hand on mine.
Yeah, my hand is on the butt of my gun as well. And I will open the door. And my apologies. I forgot that we ordered room service. I do hope.
Oh no, my apologies, Ms. Rumtree. I understand you wanted to be left alone. I just wanted to make sure that your food got up here and you had a chance. And he wheels the cart in and he says, "Do you want me to set anything up, or are you good?"
You know what? We are perfectly fine.
Well, leave the cart outside, and you can ring down to the front desk or not. It's up to you, and we'll come back and get it when you're done. Thank you.
Sounds
great.
And
he just turns and leaves. Like, he doesn't wait for you to respond. He seems to understand that you guys are in the middle of something and does not want to interrupt you.
I'm going to...
as soon as he's gone, I check the cart.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to lift the tablecloth on the cart and check under it.
Yeah, no, everything it's food. It's,
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Bobby, you feel like eating something? You probably could use it.
I locked the door behind.
Is there any pie on the tray?
Alfred. There is no pie.
Oh, no, of course there's pie. What are you talking about?
Oh, is there?
Bobby would have ordered 3 pies.
And after the night he has,
Blackwood
he gets all
doesn't
3.
Eat dinner without pie.
That's right. Boom, boom, Blackwood.
When Bobby turns into an old man gangster, that's what he's going to scream at people. Boom, boom, Blackwood doesn't eat dinner without pie. Dinner comes. You guys sit and eat and talk some more. It is getting later.
As Dalphus yawns.
Been a long day. Into finals week.
Ooh.
So a couple of things to keep in mind, or to think about. You don't know what the connection is between... You have a good idea of what Penhew's doing, but you don't know quite where the connection is between him and what happened to the Carlisle expedition, other than Gavigan... I'm sorry, you know what Gavigan's doing, but you don't know what his connection between him and the Carlisle expedition, other than the Penhew Foundation sent them with Mr. Penhew, or Sir Aubrey Penhew.
Right.
Well, and the only even kind of correlation that Rumtree would be making is Dalphus or Hardgrove is quite convinced that this mountain is somewhere in Kenya, and we know that Roger Carlyle had become quite fascinated by a Kenyan woman.
And that's where they were murdered.
That's where they were murdered. And so it's very... And then Jackson, whilst investigating possible discrepancies with the Carlisle murder or the Carlisle massacre, is also killed by a cult that is potentially based in Kenya. So
you're pretty solidly sure it's based in Kenya.
And let's not forget that Elias had a card for the Penhew Foundation on him. That's the whole reason why we were following that lead. So
he had Gavigan's card, exactly.
Gavigan said he had no contact with him. I'm starting to doubt that.
So
or he collected it from somewhere else, but
there is a connection somewhere. What I'm saying is the details are not as clear as they could be.
Sure.
And Gavigan probably has those. Aaron, as an investigator, now's probably a good time for a stakeout.
Well, didn't we say that we were going to meet him again?
Yeah, I was going to follow up on that meeting. That was a trap.
Well, yeah. Yes.
I mean,
yes, it was.
Well, and we'll say that in character. If Jewell.
Yeah, Jewell's like, oh, well, I'm glad that you realized at that point that maybe that was a bad idea.
Yeah, no, I had no intentions of following him up on that.
Okay, well.
But I have a I think a stakeout wouldn't hurt. That way we can see what happens tomorrow when we don't show up.
Were there any apartments or hotels in the region of the Penhew Foundation, in the immediate vicinity of the Penhew Foundation? I know it's quite a nice area, but
yes, there are apartments. There's also retail establishments and food places, so you could sit at a cafe maybe.
Okay.
So my preference would be to stake out in an apartment. It would be less obvious, but sitting in a cafe about the time that our meeting is supposed to happen would give us at least direct sight into see what kind of anthill we kicked over by not showing up for that meeting.
Did we actually set a time?
Yeah, I'm going to say you did.
Yeah, okay. Well, when we left, we left. The secretary was supposed to have made the arrangements.
Okay, that's fine. All right, then.
In fact, we can call the false hotel and see if anybody's called to leave us that appointment, because they would have had that contact information leave with us.
That's true. Yeah, I kind of would prefer to have an apartment or something, but I don't know what our cash situation is at the moment. I mean, I know we have the retainer from Miss Carlisle, and I know Bobby has access to a certain amount of money, but I don't know how.
I don't know the feasibility of getting an apartment on short notice.
Yeah, exactly, and I don't know how they feel about non-citizens. We are just here on a visitor's visa,
and it is the 1920s. There is no home away.
No. So yeah.
Let's take out a cafe.
Yeah, we'll go have coffee. So yeah, can we call the other hotel and find out?
Bobby can. It's under his name, so.
Yeah.
Do you mind calling the hotel, Bobby, and see if we got an appointment for tomorrow?
Sure.
All right.
Okay. So you call the other hotel.
I'm sure Alfred won't be there this time.
No, it's not Alfred. It's the other guy. You are told that you have a meeting for the end of the day, so around 4:30. The meeting could take as long as it needs, but Mr. Gavigan is booked up the rest of the day.
So is that tomorrow?
So feel free to stop by. What now?
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you said it was after dinner, right?
Okay, so
now it's probably closer to 9 p.m. now.
So late in the day would be like 4:35.
4:30. Yeah, 4:30.
Okay, so 4:30 appointment. I say we find a place to stake out around 3. I want to watch who's coming and going.
And one thing that if I remember anything about or what we've probably witnessed being there, at this time of the year, it gets dark pretty early and pretty close to like 4:30. so
that's what it does in Indiana right now.
Yeah. So if we do need to keep that in mind as well. Do we all want to be in the same place, or do we want to be...
I think it's going to be a little obvious if we're all grouped up.
Well, that's kind of how I felt, but I wasn't sure what the plan was.
No, fortunately, from that area, it looks like there's quite a few cafes that are close by, so it's not like we're going to be separated very far from each other.
If only we if only we all had, just small radios that we could just fit in our ears. That we could just talk through. I mean, I've heard talk of this in the magazines that I read, but...
As though you could walk and also talk at the same time.
It's just... I mean, they could even call it like a walker-talker or something like that.
A walker and talker? Wow.
I think it's a genius idea. I should go back and patent it.
I had a very interesting idea.
All right, what's up, Bobby?
I was thinking if we want to tell the Penhew Foundation that we found where the cult's operating.
Like call them tomorrow morning and leave a message
to the home of Miles Shipley.
Yeah, specifically that they have a temple in the basement there, very similar to what was in the Juju house.
So my only problem with that is we have him locked in the closet.
But
as far as we know, he's still in the closet.
It's going to be Gavigan.
Right, but they could also call the police and say these foreigners assaulted a local artist. They would hide the snake body, make it look like we assaulted the artist, tore up his paintings, and I don't know if we necessarily
looking at that situation anyway.
Well, no one's going to believe him. He's crazy. I think the cops, or the Scotland Yard in this case, would look it up, but I don't think they're going to just look for us. But if we get Gavigan involved with it, he can definitely point the finger at us.
Maybe, but I'm just looking for anything that could be a potential ally or something we can use to take on this group. Because quite frankly,
Dalphus,
in terms that I think most people here can understand, we're behind enemy lines at this point.
Oh, most agreed.
Professor Hardgrove, are you at all skilled in anthropology, or is all of yours just the archaeology?
No, I'm quite versed with anthropology as well.
In matters of these ancient religious and occultic sects, is there a sense of fellowship amongst different ones, or is there more a violent reaction to members of other cults? Say a cultist of the Bloody Tongue runs into a cultist of the Serpent God, whatever. Would they be inclined to help them, or would they be more upset about it? Is that even something that you might know?
Well, and Matt, should I make a roll for that, or?
Yeah, go ahead and make an anthropology roll.
Alrighty.
And then rephrase the question again, Roxy.
So, would Gavigan and his cult, would they be upset that there were other
people on their turf?
Yeah. Or would they be like, oh, we're all here bringing down hell, so it doesn't matter?
I don't necessarily.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The issue is, would they help?
Well,
we're assuming the artist.
We're assuming the artist is a different cult.
Exactly.
Okay.
Are they allies or adversaries? Right? That's what it comes down to. Are they allies or adversaries?
Yeah. And do they behave as such?
Hardgrove, what'd you get?
I got a hard success.
Typically, when cults meet in an area, one attempts to dominate the other, either through physical violence or assimilation or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. But typically, belief systems are going to override one another at some point, if they're known. But that's also assuming that the worship is a known thing. So if it's something done in secret, then that might have a different effect on it. It's vague, but if one cult becomes aware of another one, you should expect some sort of confrontation. But it may not be that one knows of another. Also, Bloody Tongue and snake people don't go. That's not a hand-in-hand thing. Those are two very different things. So if they were of the same cult, you would be surprised.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, I just would Gavigan and his people, would they even be of a mind to be like, oh, we'll just have these Americans arrested? I don't think.
Yeah, you're right.
Solomon and Quain was not interested in having us arrested.
No, he's interested in killing us.
So, I don't think that. To Bobby's credit, the plan to essentially say, "Hey, we went over here, and there's also some weird stuff."
And make it sound like we think that's the cult.
Yeah. Because
okay, I'm game for it.
Without any kind of indication this time that, or without any indication whatsoever that we think that Gavigan is there for, or maybe we even say, "Hey, we think we found a cult. You know about death cults. Are you familiar with like a serpent cult? Are they associated with the cult of the Bloody Tongue? Are these cult? Because did he act like he knew anything about the Bloody Tongue? I don't remember.
He flinched when we mentioned it, but he didn't.
Yeah.
He played it pretty close.
So we're just gonna say, hey, we found some really weird stuff, and we think that there's something. We saw something similar in New York in a basement, and
all right, we can play it that way.
I know I'm not the quickest person at the table, but Hardgrove, I was curious. Have you ever heard of Sithagwa?
You can roll occult or Cthulhu Mythos. Your choice.
Okay. Occult would be much better.
Yeah. Can I roll that as well? Because this is the first time Bobby has
Sure.
said this
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll as well because I have some occult.
I got it.
I failed it.
Regular success.
I just missed it.
By that much.
I could spin luck.
Well, I mean, the professor had hit it, so it's not like we're going to be without it.
Yeah, the professor hit it, so...
I got a 36 on a 50, so just a regular success.
Not bad.
Okay. This is what you have read. He dwells in the Black Gulf of Inqua, Inkay, where he first arrived on Earth from Saturn. He is a lesser malevolent being, though still quite terrible. He's usually represented as having a furry, fat body and toad-like head with bat-like ears and fur. His mouth is wide. His eyes are always half closed as if sleepy. And it is always said that he can freely change his shape at will. He was worshipped supposedly by ancient peoples, specifically serpent peoples and a type of furry subhumanoid in ancient times, and then by sorcerers and wizards later. He was given magic gates and spells to the faithful. He has given magic gates and spells to the faithful in the past. He is served by a race of entities known, for lack of a better name, as the Formless Spawn. They dwell in Inkay and in his temples. And a passage you remember reading once. He discerned in a dark recess the formless bulking of a conscient mass, and the mass stirred in a little at his approach, and put forth his infinite slothfulness in a huge and toad-shaped head. And the head opened its eyes very slowly, as if half awakened from slumber, so that they were visible as two slits of oozing phosphor in the black, browless face. That stuck with you for some reason.
Do you share that with us, Professor Hardgrove?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Do you just recite it? Recite it with a dramatized reenactment?
No, more as if I was given it as a lecture.
Yes, that actually makes a lot of sense.
So what was it, Bobby, that you asked?
Satagwa.
Where did you come up with that name?
That's the cult at that house.
Okay, which makes sense that the serpent people
worshipped him. Can I get a spelling of that?
Sattogua. I think. I put the book down and closed the book.
It's got an H in there somewhere. Good enough.
Yeah.
Okay. With that information, yeah, let's lead Gavigan and his crew to that. We can see what happens while we're watching. So we call them.
My only concern is there's some sort of magic or power or something going on there, evidently enough that it was able to pull Bobby into that painting. What if there's some other sort of things of power there? We don't want Gavigan to get a hold of them.
I have a very sinking suspicion that the two groups aren't going to like each other. And other things...
Well, no, but anything
of power
time in history, two groups that come into conflict, if one conquers the other, they take the spoils.
Yeah, but the spoils are not going to be about his group. They're going to be this other thing. He'd more than likely destroy them.
It's at this point that I go to my case and I open it and I bring out the pillowcase because I don't think I've mentioned it to anybody.
No, you have not.
The snake juice.
I have not.
What is that, Miss Rumtree?
Well, I mean, I didn't go into that basement, but this is about the only spoils that I found.
Are you opening the lacquered box?
Very carefully, yes.
With the needle again?
Inside there is a syringe and a vial of dull green liquid. On second look, Miss Rumtree, you notice that there is almost like a ring inside the glass part of the syringe to show you how much of the liquid has been used in it. And it's probably your nursing background tells you that this syringe has to have been used several times to leave that kind of a ring.
You don't share needles.
Well, it could just be one person using the needle.
Yeah.
Not sure whose bedroom it was. I didn't even think to ask if it looked feminine at all or if it was more masculine. But I think everything there was pretty thread it was pretty barren.
I don't think it matters to snake people either.
No, but I mean, at one point they would have been human, I would assume. But yeah, so I'm not so affectionately have termed this in my mind snake juice. I have no idea what it is. I'm not familiar with anything from my history that looks like this.
Is anyone handling the vial?
I am not. I have not touched it.
I'm looking at it in the box, but I'm not touching it. I've been creeped out too much tonight.
Does it have a label or anything?
No.
So,
on the inside of the box, is there any markings on the underside of the lid? Is there felt that I can pull back to see if there's a maker's mark anywhere? Or is the box completely nondescript?
That's a good question. Hold on just a second. Let me take a look.
the way I see it, there's two possible meanings behind this. One, whatever that snake creature was using this to make that Miles go crazy or see things like a drug and manipulate him and control him into doing whatever it wanted.
She was quite a persuasive and manipulative woman, or whatever she was.
The other only possible thing I can think of with this is that whatever this liquid is that is in this was caused the condition of that creature.
Right. That's why I don't wish to touch it, and I have not taken it out of this box.
Anybody with a cult that's been trained up at all can roll that for me.
Okay. Regular success.
Nope.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah, I missed it.
So, Professor Hardgrove, you know that serpent people are believed to have been born as an independent, normal race all by themselves. Not that you believe that they actually exist. So it might not necessarily be something that gets changed from human into a serpent person, but they are, in fact, another species altogether.
Okay.
So it's the lizard people who live in the center of our hollow earth.
Yes, except these happen to be serpents, but yes, exactly.
Okay.
Nice.
Professor, do you happen to have any contacts in London with some kind of medical or...
You know a guy.
I do know a few people.
Would it be prudent to give them the substance to find out what it is, or do we not want to shake that tree?
I don't recommend it.
Love those beaches.
Okay, so let's just forget about the juice right now then. It's not really an issue.
Was there any marks on the box, Matt?
No, there are not.
Okay. So, if we're finished looking at this, I'm going to wrap it back up, and I tuck it back in the pillowcase, and I tie it up quite tightly so that it cannot be preferably shook loose.
We don't want housekeeping to use it.
No, it goes back in the gun case.
So, ultimately, though, we're looking at a stakeout tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at, are we looking at revealing, trying to set the two cults against each other?
I'm game for it. In fact, we might want to split our stakeout a little bit. One group watching the Penhew Foundation and one group in Soho watching the house to see what happens.
Was there anything in Soho near...
Who read the Oh, Bobby did. Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
You roll an intelligence check.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused a little bit on something.
Yes.
We're saying watching
Hard
Soho.
success.
Are we talking about watching
The house.
the painter's house?
Yeah,
Right.
if we give them information...
I thought Soho was something different. I thought it was two different places.
No, Soho is
same
a
place.
district in London.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why we couldn't burn down the place anyway, because it's
Connected.
It's an urban housing area.
Hard success.
You remember a liquid being described in what you read in the book that you had.
Whoa. Yeah. Oh,
It speaks of sending people through time to experience the true view of things.
Yeah, no, it was in the book I read. That's right. A liquid. I guess this might be it, but it's supposed to some people to have visions.
So are we...
Expose truth of this cult or whatever to the person who...
So we're going to say that perhaps Mr. Shipley was...
the one being given the stuff.
Dosing up, and he was seeing visions through time.
Time and space, yeah, something like that.
So seeing the truth?
Well, he's...
painting
the
it.
Truth. I don't... I mean, I can allow that all of this is real, but to see the truth, I don't know. I think there's still I have to believe that there's some sort of malevolent thing at work here. But in my opinion, we should send word. I don't believe we should call Mr. Gavigan. I think we should send word, in pen and paper, and give them the address and say we found something, and either reschedule to meet him there, and we stake it out, and see if he even goes. So somebody be here, split up.
Right.
As much as I don't like that, but 2 people here watching the Penhew Foundation building, and then 2 people in Soho watching the Shipley home.
Bobby, do you feel like doing an old-fashioned stakeout with me in front of the house in Soho?
I'm more than happy to. Yeah, I'm just gonna let y'all handle this part.
I'm of the opinion that perhaps Dalphus and I should go to Soho instead.
Okay.
And then Bobby can take pictures of the Penhew Foundation, because
all right, that
see
works.
if anybody interesting comes or goes.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so the plan is to send a
How big are cameras in 1925?
they're not huge. They're big, but they're not huge.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
the one I got is actually a real camera. It's the first 28 millimeter camera of its type.
nice.
We'll,
I just want to make sure
we'll
he's.
play tourists.
Yeah. I wrote it down. I can't remember it.
I mean, or here's the deal. Or I could, Dalphus and I could stay and take pictures of the Penhew Foundation. But we'd have to use your camera, Bobby, and I don't know how you feel about that.
Or you could buy a camera. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'll buy you a second camera because I got what's called a Leica 35 millimeter camera, and it was first of its kind,
Takes nice pictures.
compact camera, clockwork.
You think you can find one of them
No,
somewhere else?
no, they were rare.
Well, I mean, if you wish to buy me a camera, I mean, I don't turn down gifts from
I'm
anybody.
good with Bobby and I taking
Young or
pictures
not.
of the Penhew Foundation, because whoever's going to be going to Soho is going to come out of the foundation probably.
Sure.
The assumption.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I guess we don't have. I guess we really don't have to stake out the artist's house, but I mean,
Kind of curious to see
I
what
will
happens.
say a little bit. A pepperin' of truth always makes a lie sound a little bit better.
Oh, of course.
You could always tell them that we were attacked and hurt by the cult and we're going to ground, and that's why we're telling them.
oh, that's why we don't want to meet at the Penhew Foundation.
So change your plans with them in the
Well,
morning.
I mean, we've already expressed that we were attacked in New York.
Yeah,
If
it
we
wouldn't
say
be-
we were attacked here and just play dumb,
Yeah.
he might want to know who else is attacking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's play it. Let's play it that way. Because you're right. That sounds more. It sounds exactly like
And it's
what
true.
what we've told. Yeah, exactly.
And something strange is happening to Mr. Blackwood.
I think we can leave that out.
I would appreciate.
We probably shouldn't mention that at all.
I don't know. It sounds kind of neat to me. Might as well.
And I do want to do that. I'm going to actually find like something to mark on my arm. The like an infection. I'm going to mark where the scales are and where the redness is, and I'm going to watch to see if it expands or shrinks or anything.
Man, you'd think this gentleman watches a lot of medical drama.
Listens to medical dramas.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so what's the full plan?
So the full
Just
plan.
concisely
I'll
tell
let-
me what the plan
I'll
is.
let him
Yeah, we'll
explain.
let you explain.
So the full plan is we're going to send word to the Penhew Foundation in the morning that we were attacked last night by cultists at, at the artist's house, Miles Shipley's house. We'll give him the address and all that, saying that we believe that it's the same cultists that attacked us in New York, that we're going to ground, and that we will need to reschedule the appointment we have with them tomorrow afternoon to another date while we heal up.
Okay.
And
you're going to send this by courier?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we should be able to go down to the front desk, and they should be able to arrange that for us once the letter is written. I think you should write it, Bobby, on the station. Ooh, let's not use the stationery from the hotel.
Not from this hotel.
Oh, let's...
Not this courier either.
You know what?
They already know the hotel's dead by now.
Yeah, but they don't know the one we're at.
Yeah, but they don't know we're at this one.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So let's just use some nondescript paper, and then I will...
There'll be a newsboy or somebody that we can send.
I will also say we should switch hotels.
I'm fine with packing up in the morning and going somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
We can do that. We can pack up in the morning, send the letter off, find a new hotel, and that will give us a new time to get to our stakeout positions.
Yeah. Can I also make a recommendation that pick someplace? Like right now, if things go completely south, where are we going to meet?
Where are we going to meet? How about we meet at Mickey's?
What? Oh, the
Mickey Mahoney, the
rag,
the rag.
At the Scoop.
The Scoop.
At the Scoop. Yeah,
Okay.
let's meet at the Scoop. We all everybody remember where that is?
If things go completely south.
Sure.
All right, yeah. Things go completely south, and we got to run for it. Meet at the Scoop. Because at least if we die on his doorstep, he'll have a great story. We promised him a story.
You're not wrong.
What better way than to be the news?
So you put together a memo to send over, and you pack up and leave and go find another hotel the third, and you then go to your stakeout points.
Yep. So you and the professor and Miss Rumtree are going to
We're
Soho.
grabbing coffee and a nice Monte Cristo at the cafe across from the...
Okay. What are you carrying with you, Jewell and Dalphus?
I will,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I will have changed into my traveling outfit, which is going to be some flowy beach pajama type slacks, and still have my hip holster with my 38, but it is all the clothing is long, loose, and lots. So there's no lines of concealment, but and probably not a camera because I doubt we got one in that amount of time. But yeah, I'm probably in my handbag, I will have my brass knucks and a switchblade.
Brass knucks.
Okay. And you're going to the cafe across from the Penhew
Foundation? Yes.
How are you getting there?
I believe I'd just hire a cab.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, cab sounds fine.
Bobby and Aaron, you guys are carrying what?
I'm carrying my gun, my Colt 45, with 3 extra clips, so I've got 4 clips total. I've got brass knucks in my pocket. And my suit, jacket, hat, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. And Bobby?
One thing I do not want to carry my gun with me at this point.
Well, we got our car with the rental car with us, so you could put that in the trunk.
Okay, that'll stay in the trunk.
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
The rental car is at the other hotel, isn't it?
No, we drove it to...
Well, no, we did leave the
Oh,
car.
that's right.
We left it at the other hotel.
All
Yeah,
right.
we don't have the rental.
All right, do you want to go by... I don't want to go by the hotel and get it.
Nope, I'm not going by the hotel.
I mean, Dolphus and I can have the bags.
Well,
that doesn't
is there
make a
any
lot of
place
sense
that
either.
you can check luggage when you walk into? I know there were dance halls in America that you could do that.
Well, we
Train
were gonna grab another.
You could get a little locker.
Train station. There we go.
We were gonna grab another room another hotel before we went on the stakeout, so we could leave it in that
So we
room.
could just leave it in that
But
room, and maybe it's near
I
the Penhew
actually
Foundation.
like the idea of the
The train station. Okay, that works.
And Matt, since you missed me there, I have my handgun and knife and a pair of field glasses that I would ask Miss Rumtree to carry in her bag.
Okay. I was more worried about the shotgun carriers, where their shotguns were.
Still in my case. I don't carry it out.
That's okay. So you guys all set up. I need the people at Penhew to give me a spot hidden.
That's you and me, right?
Nope.
No, they're at
they're at
Penhew.
Penhew.
Me and
We're
David.
at Soho.
Oh, okay.
And what time of morning did you send the courier, and what time of morning do you think you would have set up at Penhew?
So we would have sent the message like 8 o'clock.
Well,
Yeah.
probably when we left to go to our different locations that we'd send the courier.
Yeah, like at 8 o'clock then, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you sent it from where?
It was on blank paper with a non-marked stationery or envelope, and
With the courier that the hotel suggested.
Yeah, or just even a newsboy.
Works.
Okay.
I'm good with butter in the palm of some
Little street urchin.
Some street urchin to go deliver a letter.
Send it to the newsies.
And then we did not reschedule a time. We just said
Canceled.
Yeah, we canceled and said we were going to ground, and then Dalphus and I headed for the cafe to see if anyone.
What time do you think you would have gotten to the cafe?
Let's say by 10.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, later morning.
Sounds great. So what'd you guys get on your spots?
I got. Let's see, where's my spot hidden? I got a regular success.
As
Okay.
did I.
Fantastic. So basically, you get there, you sit through about lunch, and you notice that there are a lot of people that go in. A lot of them look like they work there. Some of them look like they do not. But nobody really comes out. Like once or twice, you see a guy come in or out, or leave that came in earlier. But you've seen probably a dozen people go in that do not work there, that do not come out.
We have already established that Jewell does draw in a small like notebook.
Sure.
Because she copied down the symbol on Jackson's forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So I know I did not list it earlier, and I apologize. And if we want to take that back, that's fine.
No. That's fine. Go
I
ahead.
would say that she would be absently sketching in her book, and it's not going to be anything like super great, but she might jot down a few notes about people she sees.
Sure. The reason you note that they probably don't work there is they're not carrying any kind of briefcase or bag, and they look uncomfortable in the nice suits they have. On top of that, whereas everyone else is well appointed in suits and very British. these the dozen or so men that you saw go in are kind of hulking, bigger guys, and they are clearly not strictly English men. They are men of color.
Freaking guys.
Yeah. They're men of color,
Okay.
and not that you can see a lot, but they look rough around the edges.
Okay.
They walk with Jewell. You can tell they walk with a confidence of a man that's ready to kill.
Oh, well.
If that captures
It
kind
does.
of the aspects of them.
Sure.
So Gavigan's thugs.
Sure.
Yeah, they look like heavies.
So at least 12 heavies have gone in.
12.
No one comes out.
12 heavies. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, I make note of that.
You're not fighting that.
No.
Meanwhile, at the Shipley house, can I get a spot hidden from the two of you guys? And you guys how are you staking out the Shipley house?
We acquired a car somewhere.
Yeah.
Sure, that's fine. That works for me.
And we're parked definitely not directly in front of the house, but we're parked in a spot
I
where
would
we
assume that you're a good private investigator and don't put out a sign. Okay, gotcha.
I rolled a 19, which is a hard success.
Hard success. Yep.
Hard success. I got a regular success on the spot hidden.
And Aaron, could you roll a stealth for me?
And can I roll on that as well, or assist or anything?
He's kind of doing. Yeah, go for it. That's fine.
All right.
I rolled a 63. Can I use luck to push that down to a 60, which would be a regular success?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We're not in combat yet.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. So you guys kind of you hide out. You keep an eye on it. When you get there, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. About an hour after sitting there, a car pulls up that's marked police. A man gets out and goes inside and comes back out carrying police tape that seems to, like, it's loose. And then he kind of goes around and, like, checks the other doors and then leaves.
That's what I figured. They're using police.
It looks that way.
This Monte Cristo is lovely, Dalphus. I would love to find a place who can make this good of a breakfast sandwich at 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Back home.
Would it be afternoon technically?
Not yet. Not quite yet.
Not quite.
At home, it would not at all be. It would be like 6 in the morning.
No, 11 is before noon.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
You're right. You're right.
So your time has passed.
Oh, I was
and
sorry.
Nothing. Go ahead.
Sorry, I meant to ask. So the guy that came out of the house after he went in, he put up police tape, or he?
No, it was like he was taking it down from a previous crime scene.
Ah.
So somebody did find it.
Yep.
And he was coming clearing it out. Okay. Interesting. I don't know anything about it. I'm drawing heavies.
So, and then do you want to stay there any longer to see if anybody else comes, or are we going to just be like, they know about it, let's just skedaddle? Did you get a picture of the guy that took the police tape down?
I didn't say I did, but yeah, if I can.
The photographer didn't even take a picture.
Sorry.
You had one job.
I had one job.
I mean, you guys could always come back and join us.
From Monte Cristo?
Yeah. Why not? They're good sandwiches. The longer we stay there, I mean,
chances are you're going to get caught.
Well, the cafe's going to be like, what in the heck are you doing?
You can
always finish up your Monte Cristo and go to a different cafe that's still within.
See, and maybe we do that. I would like to see if Gavigan ever leaves.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't
so
anticipate
you kind of hop between cafes for the rest of the day. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah. I try
Okay.
Earl Grey at all of them.
And then I guess we're going to sit in front of the Soho or sit where we're at and just make sure that nothing else happens. Like
okay.
snake people boiling out the door.
Around 12:30, someone delivers lunch. Another half dozen or so heavies end up going in the afternoon. People come in and out like normal business, but nobody. You never see Gavigan. Nothing. At about 5, people start kind of streaming out. It's the people that work there. But by 5:30, he still hasn't come out. How late are you going to stick around?
Oh, I don't feel comfortable staying in the area much longer after dark. But it does bother me that he hasn't come out. However, do I see a little street urchin?
Roll luck.
Let's see. Nah, I don't. I don't see one.
Okay.
But yeah, so I guess we'll head back to the new hotel in a cab.
Yep.
Or a bus, but probably a cab.
Dalphus, can I have you roll luck?
Yep. All right. 27.
Okay. Just as you guys are getting up and packing up, Gavigan comes out. He has one other man with him. It's one of the heavies. His car is pulled around for him by that guy. They both get... Or, no, I'm sorry. There's no car. He starts walking towards the direction of Soho, which I'm guessing is not far from here because it says he walks there. So,
Okay.
are you going to attempt to follow him?
I don't know, Dalphus. Do we want to? Do we want to follow this guy?
I would say that you and I are rather conspicuous in this setting, so we may not have a very good time of it. We could try if we're very careful, but we're likely to be seen doing so.
So I'm going to say that's a no on following Gavigan.
And you said, Matt, that he was heading towards
Where you guys
Soho? All right. Well, we're in a good spot to see him.
I mean, Soho's an area, so
well, he might come
not
by
like he's
our
heading
area.
directly towards you. But
Right. But he might come by us.
Yeah.
How busy are the streets, Matt?
Still pretty busy. Not
okay.
dead, but not as full as they were right at 5, but there's still quite a few people out. Basically, everybody's headed home for the day.
All right. Well, if it's busy enough on the streets, we could walk with the crowds and try to not be seen.
Yeah, I would put on my cloche hat and I would put on my jacket it's January, so I'm sure I have a coat. And I'd bundle up and maybe flip up my collar and lapels and bundle up a little bit and maybe try to not be as much me as possible. But maybe hunch a little bit.
Okay. Just for the note, it is the 2nd of February. No, 3rd of February now.
Okay. Which is still going to be pretty close. Pretty close.
No, that's fine. I just realized I hadn't updated the calendar on my end, so I wanted to say something while I was thinking about it.
Yeah, sure.
So you guys are going to follow. I need stealth rolls from the two of you.
All right.
Crap. Which is, yes.
Sturdy is not always stealthy.
That's a big
Hey,
no.
that's not good. I got an 18.
It's a no for me.
Let me see if I don't even know what my skill stealth is. It could be like 10. No, it's 20. So I just got it.
Excellent. So you both got it, or just you, Dalphus?
Just him.
Got a little check there.
Okay. I'm checking stats. Hold on. Sorry. There we go.
Bless you.
Fantastic. So you follow him for a little bit. You come within a couple of blocks of Bobby and Aaron, but not close enough to really, unless you want to stop following him, to really let them know where you're at.
Nah.
And he enters a shop. From the outside, it looks like a tea shop.
Okay.
What is the name of said tea shop?
The Frou House.
Wow, they don't give it a name. That's
Okay.
super helpful.
Well, all right.
It's called Tea.
The Murder Face Tea Shop.
Tea with an accent.
It's
Yeah.
It's
Hey.
Slurpees.
Yeah. It's the Slusho shop.
I'm sorry, it's not a tea shop. It's a spice shop.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh, you need that to rule space.
Yes.
Yeah.
The spice must
It
flow.
and also must
Do
flow.
you spice? Do you
Yes.
spice?
No, we're not making crit roll references. But yeah, we do not go in.
Okay. He's in there 20 minutes or so and then leaves without anything else. The man comes out with him. They talk for just a brief second and head different directions.
We do not split up, Dalphus.
No.
What do you guys do?
I would like to keep an eye on Gavigan.
Does Gavigan headed back to where he came from, or?
If you had to guess, he's probably headed towards his house. He has a house here in Soho as well.
Okay. And where's the other person going?
Looks like back towards the Penhew Foundation, in that direction at least.
And okay, in which direction are our friends?
Neither direction. They're kind of perpendicular away.
All right.
I mean, if we know that Gavigan has do we know that Gavigan has a house in Soho?
Yes.
Can we take that information as okay?
Yeah, I mean that's something that Bobby would know from his talk. Or no, you guys knew that from your talk, I think, with Erica. As she mentioned, maybe not. I don't know. It would be public knowledge that he has all of these things.
Okay.
I was gonna say we had files on all the properties that he had.
Yeah, we Dalphus and I looked it up in the library and learned that he had control of the Penhew funds. But if we know that he has a house in Soho, then I would not be so worried about following him. But I would at least like to stay where we are until he is well out of sight.
Okay. Do you want to check out the shop?
Not at all.
Okay.
We learned our lesson about going into little tiny shops.
If Dalphus has at all indicated that he believes that Gavigan is the head of the Bloody Tongue here in London, I do not wish to be in another place like that.
Okay.
She feels palpitations just thinking about it.
Okay. So where to now? Where are you guys? Where are all four of you headed?
I would probably say we go and find Aaron and Bobby.
Yep, that was my suggestion.
There goes our
and meet
cover.
up with them and then go. There goes your cover.
There goes our cover.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's blown, it's blown. But if they watching you, then you were gonna leave eventually. And yeah, and I would suggest we go back to our hotel wherever it is. Is it also in Soho now, our new one?
No, it's nearby though.
Okay.
Did we get one? Because I had a suggestion for what, but that's okay. What did we get one?
Yes, you do have a third hotel. Was somebody gonna ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a suggestion for a hotel, David?
I did, but if we already have one picked out, it doesn't matter.
Well, no, we hadn't picked one. It was just part of the plan.
I mean, it's just in the story we have one, but you can suggest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it would go get us a suite at the Savoy.
Is it around?
Okay.
That works. We didn't specify where we were going. We're just going to get another one. Yeah, it's affordable.
It is to Bobby.
I guess
I'm sure I could afford it. It's a nicer place though. They would have some protocols as to who they let in and out, unless they had some sort of sway over things. But I believe it's not too far from Soho.
Okay.
It is in the city of Westminster.
That's
in central London.
Yeah. So I'm not sure where that is in regards to Soho, but yeah, it's at least in the same city. We could take a cab.
Yeah,
I remember. I mean, we got around by the underground when we were there, and it didn't take very long to get from.
Yeah.
Because the Palladium is in Soho.
Yeah.
And we went from the Savoy to the Palladium, and it took us like 10 minutes.
So it's probably a half-hour walk or so, I would guess.
Well, if they're going to meet us,
that's still not that bad.
If they're going to meet up with us, we got the car, and we'll just drive to the Savoy.
That's true.
Cool. So you drive to the Savoy and meet up.
Well, while we're driving, can I check to make sure that no one's following us in like the rearview mirror?
Yeah, give me a spot hidden.
That is a regular success.
Nothing in the rearview mirror. It doesn't look like anybody's following you now.
Okay.
We're just paranoid AF.
Right.
That and my face still hurts. I think my jaw is fractured.
That woman's was too.
Does somebody want to do first aid on poor Aaron after he got slugged?
Sure.
Now that once we get back to the hotel.
Sure. Yeah. How's your face, Aaron?
It hurts. I don't know what he hit me with.
I did not make it.
Field medic.
I mean, I can try first aid on myself. I've got some points.
Got a normal success here.
Roll a D3, Aaron.
D3.
Yep.
That is a 1.
So you'll heal back 1. Super helpful.
Does that take me out of majorly wounded? Because I'm still under half. I'm right at half now.
No, it does not.
Okay.
Yeah, you still have a major wound.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the way that major wounds work is that once you take one, you can heal all of your hit points back up, and you still have a major wound until you get to a point where it goes away. And I'm actually looking that up right now. I don't remember what the rule is on that.
If we're going to just lie low for a little bit, we could always take you to a hospital.
Oh, I'm sorry. Also, when you take a major wound, you do fall prone, which you essentially described anyway.
Yeah.
Major wound recovery. Every week you're going to make a con save to see if you can recover the major wound.
Okay.
But he has to wait a week before he can do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be a while. You're essentially, you got a giant-ass bruise on your face, and it's going to be there.
Right.
So you said it was February 2nd or 3rd?
3rd.
3rd. Okay. Interesting.
So on the 8th, I can make another save.
Yep.
What's our plan?
Actually, on the 9th, you can make a save.
On the 9th?
You got hit. You got punched on the 2nd.
Oh, okay.
So actually, we're about 5 minutes before we would cap out anyway, and before we get deep into the next step, I'd like to take a break. So just as a helpful reminder to Matt for next week when he has to come back, or in 2 weeks when he has to come back and watch this, they went and met the Shipleys, and then staked out Gavigan to see if he went to the Shipley house, and Heavy went to Gavigan. And he did not, and now they're back at the hotel, the third hotel. This is number 3.
Whose name is this one going to be under? I guess the professor, since he suggested the Savoy.
Sure.
I would have given them a fake name that I may have traveled with before, successfully.
Boom Boom Blackwood.
No, I'll come up with something in the interim.
Oh, look.
Sure.
It's Doctor.
All right. That was kind of great.
Just kinda. I mean, it was a pretty lackluster episode. We could have died. We could have lost Bobby. GM.
I think it was great. Nobody died. It was all great.
I almost died from a punch to the face by a puny little artist that had more strength than he should have.
I like that the artist almost.
He was hopped up on snake juice.
Hopped up on snake juice.
Here's the episode
That's
title.
the episode title.
Oh yes, definitely.
Hopped up on snake juice.
Hopped up on snake juice.
And I'm gonna spell it JOOCE. It's to not hit a copyright. To not hit a copyright conflict.
So thank you guys for coming out and watching. We are now officially an affiliate. So if you enjoyed the show tonight and you wanted to support us, we would be very happy for you to subscribe. You probably can't do that yet because I'm waiting for my paperwork to go through, but that is coming up soon. So don't forget to do that. What now?
Save your $5.
Yeah, save your $5. Also, if you have Amazon Prime, it's free.
That's right.
Twitch Prime, subscribe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will be doing that as soon as it goes live.
Yep.
Yeah. We will be back in 2 weeks on the 19th to see how terribly this goes for everybody. And then I think the next show is on the 2nd?
Yeah, it'll be right after.
2nd of January.
It'll be, no, it's not, I think it's the 3rd. I don't remember. Maybe it is the 2nd. But yeah, it's after New Year's.
Nope, it's 2nd. Calendar says it's the 2nd.
There we go. It's my cousin's birthday.
Yeah, if you guys want to check out other stuff we've got, you can go to passionnerdly.com or nerdsdom.com. Check out our podcast there. Second season of Seriously Let's Plays just started, and I will actually be on that season on the last few episodes for something that we're about getting ready to record day after tomorrow. So that'll be fun.
Awesome. Glad to hear.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Cyberball episode 1 came up this week. So.
Yeah. It was a fun episode.
Yeah, so it should be a lot of good fun.
Yep.
Otherwise, yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yes.